Sherra paused at the top of the steps, drew in a deep breath, and told herself she'd do this. She'd get through this, one way or the other, just as she had gotten through every day for the past 5 months. Nodding at the silent pep talk, the same one she gave herself every day, she went down the steps quickly and forced herself to face him.
"Afternoon, kitty."
Kane's deliberate drawl as she entered the kitchen, prepared for the weekly meeting Callan insisted on, had the hair on the back of her neck rising in instant defense. That drawl never indicated a pleasant conversation where Kane was involved. It wasn't as if any conversation she had with him was ever pleasant. He insisted on provoking her at every opportunity, and generally did his level best to see just how angry he could make her. His blue eyes were cool, calculating, watching her with an amused mockery that made her ache to scratch them out. That need was in direct conflict with the overpowering urge to fuck him silly. She was in heat. She hated it, but had no choice except to admit to it. After 11 long years of pain and fear, she now knew why her body turned traitor on her, beginning with an overwhelming arousal and ending with a bleak, almost agonizing pain before slowly diminishing. For 1 month of each year, she had been going into heat, and she had suffered because her mate had already taken her, had already programmed her body to accept no other touch but his. If he had been a breed, she could have understood it. Marinus and Ronnie had been marked by their mates, their bodies conditioned by the hormonal fluids that eased from the swollen glands just under the male breed's tongues. Sherra knew that on the single night she had spent with Kane, her own hormonal glands hadn't been active. And she sure as hell hadn't made the mistake of kissing him since he had barged back into her life. Not since learning the signs of the mating heat and knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt that Kane was her mate. He was leaning negligently against the kitchen counter, cup in hand, his tall, leanly muscled body relaxed and tempting. His jeans bulged between his thighs. She swallowed, dragging her gaze away from him. He was hard and ready to fuck, and only God knew just how badly she wanted him to come into her. Strong and thick, his cock surging inside her until she screamed for more, begged him to never stop. She almost shivered at the thought as heat rushed over her, through her.
"Oh, now there's something interesting."
His amused voice was pitched low as he obviously caught the betraying color.
"What's the blush for, kitten? Getting overheated?"
Turning from him, she pretended nonchalance as she laid the files on the table in preparation for the rest of the pride's arrival. "Kane, you're starting to irritate me," she told him coolly, without turning back. "The cute little remarks are getting on my nerves. Keep it up, and I'll show you how a feline really fights." He grunted, the sound filled with sarcasm.
"Be nice, Sherra, or I'll sick our little angel on you. She'll bite you, remember?"
The little halfling breed, Cassie, had actually growled at her the day before when Sherra had snapped at Kane over something he said. The little girl was amazingly protective of him. Sherra glanced back at Kane as she shook her head in pity. Poor Cassie. She was learning such bad habits from him. "We promised to keep her away from you," she said. Kane was not a good influence on the child. "You're going to turn her into a little monster if you keep spoiling her the way you are." He smiled with smug amusement.
"Beats the little doll you and Marinus would turn her into," he retorted. "Let the kid be a kid, damn it. It's not like she's had much chance in the past 2 years.
That was no more than the truth. From Dash Sinclair's reports, the little girl had lived through a nightmare of constant attacks and desperate flights as her mother fought to keep her safe. She was the first known halfling breed, part wolf, coyote, and human, to be conceived outside a test tube, and the price on her head was astronomical. But that didn't mean Kane had to turn a perfectly sweet child into such a little tomboy.